All right, in this video, I'm gonna talk through 6 tips that will make you more money this Q4 on Amazon. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to another video. Real quick before I get into the main points is Zero to Brand, my training program that goes A to Z, everything you need to know to launch profitably and build a scalable brand off the back of Amazon. It is on sale right now for Black Friday through Cyber Monday. So if you're seeing this when the video went up, you're probably seeing it on Thursday or Friday. It's running through Cyber Monday night at midnight. This is a extremely deep discount. You'll want to get in. The link is the first in the description. This is as discounted as it's ever been. I don't do deals very rarely, so this is definitely the time to get in. If you've been thinking about it, everything you need is in there. 11 hours of content, over 110 video chunks, so it's nice and digestible at your own pace. And plus the private group with me and hundreds of other members who can all help each other. So if you want that, if you're ready to dive in and you want me along with you, I would love to, and the link is first one in the description. If you're seeing this months from now and you've missed it, sorry, but I promise you it's worth way more than the price. That was always my intention with this course, was it to be worth way more than I'm actually selling it for, because I want it to be an amazing value to you, which is a huge principle that you can apply even to your Amazon products. You know, give more value, right? It needs to be worth more than you're charging in terms of the experience overall. So just wanted to let you know that real quick. Maybe I'll explain a little more of what it is at the very end of the video. And I'll also have a comment winner for a free 20-minute call with me. So watch to the end to see who won. And if you want to enter on this video to win a call with me, all you have to do is thumbs up, subscribe, hit that bell, and drop a comment down below. Anyways, into the 6 tips. All right, tip number 1. Time frame. What the hell is Q4? What are we really talking about? I feel like there's a lot of misconception just about when these heightened sales days, like what the time period even actually is, because it's not truly Q4. You know, technically Q4 means 4th quarter of the year. Q4, quarter 4. That means it's October, November, December. It's that 4th of the year. But when we're talking in terms of e-commerce and Amazon selling, we're really not talking about October at all. We're really not talking about November at all until Black Friday and forward. And we're really obviously not talking about after Christmas into New Year's really at all either. So what is the time period that we're really talking about when we say Q4, where everything is crazy and where all of the Q4 tips or things I'm talking about in this video actually apply? When is that actual timeline? And I'll show you in my own personal sales in just a second, but really what it is it starts Black Friday, Cyber Monday are huge, then it dips back down, still above normal, but then it ramps all the way up until basically the 21st of December, and that's around where it stops. But let me just hop into my computer and show you mine. All right, so here the date range I have pulled up is November 24th, 2017 through Christmas Day 2017. So showing you through day by day, this is Black Friday. I had my deal canceled. I made a video about that and I mentioned in my last video. So Black Friday was there, dips a little. Cyber Monday was bigger for me. Then it's back above it was above average, kind of dipped back down in these date ranges. This was a huge lightning deal, so that's kind of an abnormal spike right there. Not necessarily that December 3rd is going to be that high in general, but what you can really see is like a general trend up. Like Black Friday, Cyber Monday are big, and then it goes back down, but a general trend up until basically the peak at around 21st, 22nd starts to taper off, and then it dips way back below average after that. So that's just, of course, my personal experience, and I'm sure it varies based on what products you sell and how seasonal they are, stuff like that. But in my personal experience, it's Black Friday is really the first peak of Q4, maybe a little ramp up into it, but nothing super significant. Black Friday peaks, Cyber Monday peaks, in between there is still gonna be above average. And then just that slow, it just continues to ramp up and up and up and up until the peak is really that last minute Christmas shopping. So that's just important, because as we talk about Q4 and all these tips and stuff, like what are we really talking about? That's what we're talking about. That is the period of the year what we really mean by Q4 in my experience. Point 2 is understanding BSR and BSR history in the context of Q4. There's so much that we can learn from this. If you don't know, BSR means best best sellers rank, and it's a way that we can figure out where a product is ranking in a category, and then we can sort of reverse engineer how much revenue that means through tools like Jungle Scout, which I personally use. There's a discount link below if you are in the market for Jungle Scout. It's one of the tools that I do recommend. It saves you a lot of time. Understanding BSR, you can do this for free with tools like Camel, Camel, Camel as well. You don't need a paid tool, but BSR, basically what you need to know here is it equates to sales. Here's what is important. Two things on this one point, bonus point. So first part is that we can look at the BSR history to understand what our competitors did last year. So this is a huge way to be able to anticipate what's going on in your particular market for Q4 and be able to plan accordingly and make sure you have the inventory and make sure you have the right strategy so you can be prepared for what it is. You know what to expect because you can see what the BSR did in these time periods in the prior Q4 to see how much of an increase they really have. But here's the sub point on it is that it's not just that, it's not that simple actually, because what you need to realize is that the BSRs actually means something differently at this time when everything is heightened. So because everything is heightened, that means that number 5,000 rank in the office category, 5,000 rank, let's say hypothetically 5,000 rank usually equated to 10 sales a day, but let's say that Amazon as a whole is selling so much more, that means now a 5,000 rank actually means 30 or 40 sales a day right now for Q4. So not only are you looking at the increase in BSR, but you need to kind of factor in that the BSR actually means something different at that time of year because the overall sales are so inflated. And that just kind of proves the point that Q4 is massive and has so much potential. So it's kind of like this double hit. As you can see the BSR getting better and you can realize it means something more. So even if the BSR is flat, that probably means that they're doing way more in sales at that time. All right, point number 3 is that the best place to be heading into Q4 is to already be established. So this can be kind of a downer for those of you that are just now getting started and want to do some last minute things. My last video about Black Friday and Cyber Monday would totally apply to Q4, some things that you can do on the fly. But in the context of really preparing and getting the most out of Q4, this is preparation that's being done months in advance, even a year in advance. So hopefully if you're in my audience and you're taking a more long-term approach to this business, you are thinking about next Q4. You're not just thinking about how can I make money immediately, but you're thinking about how can I set myself up for success in 6 months, 9 months, 18 months. And that is the way that I want you to think. And so in the context of Q4, really, it's just going to amplify what you already have. I'm gonna get into this in the next point, but with the increased traffic, it's only going to really increase what you already have. So obviously there's increased traffic on Amazon, but if you're not ranking at all, if you're nowhere to be found and you 10x, what's 10 times 0? It's 0. So the best place to be is to already be established going into Q4, already be ranked, already be selling well. That's the way that you're going to see the biggest increase when all this stuff blows up for Q4 with traffic conversion, as I'll get into the next point. But best place to be is to be prepared well in advance, to be ranking and to already be established going into it. Okay, so 4th point for Q4, I kind of teased this a little in the last one, but this has to do with traffic and conversion, and then I'll throw on some ad strategies that you can use to really get the most out of what I'm talking about. So what I mean is that obviously people are shopping, obviously there's more traffic. So you have traffic, you have conversion. Traffic is how many people are looking at your listing, right? And that is potentially much higher because so many people are on Amazon. So many people are shopping. They're doing Christmas shopping, gifts, all of that. So traffic is going to be so much higher. That part is kind of obvious. But now when you have traffic, out of that much traffic, how many people actually become purchasers, that is your conversion rate. And what people don't necessarily understand is that not only is there increased traffic at the same conversion rate, but there's increased traffic rate and there's increased buyer intent, which leads to more sales per that amount of traffic. So let's say you usually had 100 people and you'd get 5 sales. Well, now you might get 100 people and get 10 sales or 15 sales. But now what if instead of 100 people, you have 500 people? Do the math. It can get really crazy because you're increasing traffic, but you're also increasing the conversion of that traffic. So what do we do about that? We can go super aggressive with more ad strategies. Expect your ad spend to go super fast, up those budgets, realize it's gonna convert better, so your ACOS, your ACOS, advertising cost of sale, is probably going to be better because that traffic that you're buying is converting better in these time frames, and go spend on more stuff. The long tail obscure keywords are going to be getting more traffic. You can set up some low bid campaigns to pick up this straggler traffic because everybody's budgets are out and you can just pick up the scraps. You should also just blast more on your successful ones because there's going to be more traffic through those keywords as well. So definitely adjust your ad strategy within Amazon as a whole. For this applies to Prime Day, this applies to Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and all through that period of Q4. All right, number 5 on this list is lightning deals. Lightning deals are where you can make an obscene amount of money in a very short period of time on Amazon. I think my highest in a day is $64,000 in sales. And funny enough, I actually hit $64,000 twice. So I didn't beat my record, I tied it once. So I still haven't topped that lightning. Those were on days that I had lightning deals. That's why the sales were that much higher. But I've hit 64K. It was this past Prime Day and the year before Black Friday. But anyways, what a lightning deal is, you can run these all year long. They are 6-hour deals that you pay for, and Amazon sort of promotes your product at a discount with a minimum amount discounted for a minimum amount of inventory that you allot to it. So you can use, this is a great strategy to test all the time, but Black Friday, Cyber Monday, they can explode. But if you're, at the time you're watching this, if you're watching this when the video is new, it's actually not too late to schedule for the main Q4 lightning deals. It is too late for Black Friday, Cyber Monday. Those are right around the corner. You had to schedule those like 3-4 months back or something like that. But the slots are still open for week 1, week 2, week 3 of Q4. It's like, you know, beginning December, middle or so, like that. So keep in mind what I said as well about when it ramps up the most, and try to schedule your deals strategically. They're $300 for that time frame, but you could potentially blow out a ton of inventory. Now, of course, this also ties a lot back into preparing way in advance, because if you're really going to have a deal where you blast an obscene amount of inventory, well, then you should have been ordering that inventory like 6 months ago or something. So this all plays into that long-term strategy thinking that you need to have. All right, point number 6 on this list is chill the hell out. Honestly, once Q4 is here, most of the work is done. You've done all of this preparation, you've got everything set up, and it's mostly just, you know, take some time, get some sleep, enjoy. Everyone's like, hustle, 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 Q4, it's crazy, you have to do all this shit. But really, it's all kind of set up, and then you just have to kind of like let it go, and it is what it is when it's actually here. So the day-to-day during Q4, you know, you might adjust some of those ad strategies on the fly, how I mentioned in the previous points, but your inventory is already there, your listings are set up. I mean, everything's kind of going to be there already, and it's just going to be a matter of maintaining and just watching it and just letting it go and just refreshing your sales all day and seeing what you're raking in. But, you know, it's not necessarily, the busiest time is leading up to it. During it, it's not necessarily that busy because there's not much you could do at that point in terms of like, you know, you can't send in more inventory at the very last second. They're not going to check it in. So it is what it is once you get there. And in general, I just think this whole hustle culture, I've been thinking a lot about it this year. My whole shift has been way more into just like chill out, enjoy, you know, work and flow. I don't want it to be, I don't want to be grinding and hating what I'm doing. So I think that's a good tip that everyone needs, something I want to definitely talk about more and more, but I think Q4 is the perfect time to practice that. You know, enjoy the holidays, enjoy family, friends, whatever you're doing, and hopefully enjoy some extra profits as well. But chill out, enjoy. It's a cool time to be an e-commerce seller, but it's also not necessarily like a time where you have to be hating what you're doing and going absolutely crazy trying to do everything. All right, that wraps up my 6 tips. I'm sure you learned a lot. Let me know in the comments, but I want to remind you, Zero to Brand, that is my course that covers absolutely everything. It is on sale. This does not happen. So if you're on the fence, if you want to really learn with me on your side and getting my step-by-step all in one place, you don't have to get lost in all of this sea of conflicting information, and you just want to learn it all from one person that you hopefully feel like he knows what he's doing maybe, and also have the private group for continuous help, then check that link. It is ending very soon. Depending when you're seeing this video, it's probably within a couple of days. And again, this is absolutely everything you need to know. It is over 11 hours of content chunked down into 110 little video chunks, so it's not overwhelming, but it's also everything that you need and nothing that you don't. You know, it's not just me rambling for like 8 hours and like a bunch of different videos that are each hours long each. It's like I put a ton of time into making it packed and condensed and tight and exactly what you need in one place. And I already have hundreds of people in there that are doing really well and loving it. I'll pop up a couple of student screenshots just of their sales numbers and things like that over here. And we can also edit in some little course previews as I'm talking here. Francis, my editor, is gonna be on that, making it look all sweet. And yeah, it really is the best roadmap that I can give you. If you wanna learn from me, it's all there. I'd love to see you in there. I'd love to be part of your journey, and so that you can let me know in a year about what you've built. I would love to be a part of it. But I'll also say, if you take my free videos and you build an amazing business, I still love you. That is amazing. And seriously, like I'm not that guy. So that's great too. But yeah, that's gonna wrap up this video. Let me know in the comments which point was the most beneficial to you, which did you learn the most from, and let me know if you're joining Zero to Brand on this huge Black Friday, Cyber Monday extravaganza that ends Monday night. And I'm excited to see a bunch of you in there. And thanks so much for watching. See you in the next video.